So, what's up mga ka-Ayah? It's your teacher Ayah, State of Gentry Rapping from DASMA. Online study is the name of the game, and if you start to our lesson, I promise to keep you entertained. So, welcome back to my another video. So, ngayon na lang ulit tayo nag-intro, no? So, I just want to share to you my research, no, related to my field of study. So, ako kasi ngayon ay nagma-masters. So, Master of Arts in Teaching Social Sciences. So, I would like to share to you every piece of my research in my master. So, I have 9 units, no? Subject ko, critical theories. So, obviously, mga ano yung social sciences. Critical theories, contemporary Philippine development, and the teaching of world geography. So, I would like to share to you my research in some of my subjects. No? So, wait for other video to be posted in this channel.
So, hello ulit sa inyo, no? So, this is my piece of research. No, ito kasi yung una namin ginawa. I just want to share to you, no, na syempre, nag-work at the same time, you're still studying, no? So, ito kasi isa naming subject, no? Lalo na sa mga estudyante ko, no? If you're into research and you're into social sciences, no? Mas may intindihan mo yung aking pagpaliwanag, no? Kasi meron kaming assignment po nakaraan. So, may subject kasi kami about critical theories. So, critical theories kasi, ito yung mga theories that are opposing, no, the status quo of the people. Ibig sabihin nun, pag sinabi kasi critical theories, ito yung isa sa mga theory na sabihin na natin ng college ako na I hate this theory kasi para siyang nagko-contradict siya lagi sa society, nagko-contradict siya, lagi siya yung kontrabida sa mga stability ng isang pangyayari. Pero nung natutunan ko siya, nung unti-unti kong napag-aralan yung critical theory as our subject, no? Dahil ito yung ginawa namin ng prof namin dati, yung prof namin ngayon pala, kasi prof ko din siya dati ng college, no? So, critical theory, pinagawa niya kami ng autodidactics. Kasi nung college ko, may ginawa na rin namin yun. Pero mas ngayon, dahil in master's degree, mas ano siya, mas magbit siya. Pero, nakukuha ko agad yung point kung ano yung autodidactics. Pag sinabing autodidactics, no, it's about your self-knowledge or your self-discovery in investigating a certain study. Ibig sabihin nun, autodidactics, self-learning. Kung ikaw ay bibigyan ng isang article, ikaw mismo yung maghahanap ng problem. At the same time, ikaw yung magpo-formulate ng question na hindi mo maintindihan or yung question na unang pumasok sa isip mo once na nabasa mo yung isang text. So, ito yung share ko lang sa inyo. No? Ito yung una kong sa autodidactics in our subject. Binigyan kami ng isang article patungkol sa introduction ng critical theory. Kung ano ba talaga yung ibig sabihin ng critical theories, no? So, these are dalawang question yun. These are the questions that my mind keep on asking when I read the text itself, no? So, the question na ito yung na-formulate ko kasi ikaw mismo yung magbabasa ng text. At the same time, ikaw mismo yung gagawa ng magpo-formulate ka ng question. Ganun kasi yung autodidactics. Hindi ka tinuturuan na sagutan mo lang yung tanong na binigay nila. Ikaw mismo yung magtatanong, ikaw mismo yung magpo-formulate, at ikaw mismo yung sasagot. Kaya nga autodidactics, self-learning. Nagkakaroon ka ng independence pagdating sa iyong pag-aaral. Kasi ikaw mismo, lalo na kung you're in the field of research, no, mas makakatulong sa'yo to formulate a problem, to formulate questions, to formulate or investigate a certain text. No? So, eto, una, does critical theory negate us for it regards contradiction in its conception? Kasi pag sinabi natin critical theories, once you're into it, no, you will discover na, akala natin kasi pag critical theories, ako din yung una, puro na lang contradiction ang meron dito. Pero, ito palang critical theories, as I've discovered, no, basahin ko sa inyo, no, literally speaking, if we often read or hear the words critical theory or critic, di ba pag critic, pag criticize, it always associates to be disapprove or oppose. Akala ba natin lagi na lang pag-criticize, pagkukontra? But in the first place, do we really intend to examine its depth? Ibig sabihin nun, talaga ba na-examine natin kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng critical theories once you're into it? So, ito yung mga realization ko nung nabasa ko yung binigay na text sa amin, no? These are our first autodidactics, no? As I analyze the text, critical theory woke me up in the philosophical realism. Kasi syempre, nung una, medyo mababaw yung pagtingin natin sa reality. Pero kasi ang critical theories, this involves not just a contradiction of the problem itself. No? Ano yung mga kamalian, ano yung mga hindi maganda sa paligid mo. No? It neither dominates nor outshines beliefs. Hindi siya basta yung kumukontra, may dahilan siya kung bakit siya nag-exist. No? As what was 2016 reiterated its roots. Kasi ano siya, no, kung familiar kayo sa Marxism, no, kay Karl Marx, no, kasi we know Marxism is a theory that wants to eliminate dominance or exploitation in the society kasi gusto niya maging equal in society. No? Yung mga nagkaroon kasi ng hierarchy of social class, no? Gusto niya ma-eliminate, no, in order for the society to be equal. No? So as we reiterate this critical theory, no, uh, it would implicitly stress the importance of a better world. Its philosophy is a reflection of realities, potentials, and limits of struggles. Kasi akala natin, lahat na lang ng bagay na makikita natin is puro positive. What we don't know or we don't examine, na meron pala siyang negative impact or outcome or effects sa atin. No? Kaya nandun yung critical theories. No? Not all the contradictions are really contradicting ourselves, but instead, contradictions are basic building blocks of all dialectics. Dialectics tries to show that and how contemporary society and its moments are shaped by contradictions. O kasi nga, capitalism, critical theories want to eradicate or lessen the inequality pagdating sa society, especially sa mga sa poverty, no, in money, in business, no. So as I revisit this critical theories on my question, no, based on my philosophical lens, I viewed critical theory as the social justice warrior. Ito pala yung mga theories na maaring magtanggol sa mga nandoon sa marginalized line. Ito yung mga marginalized line, sila yung mga naiiwan sa lipunan. So, kamusta na may mahirap, no? Sino ang kanilang magiging warriors? Sino ang kanilang magiging tagapagtanggol, no? And here's critical theory which I said in my Autodidactics that it is the social justice warrior of humanity as it acts not just an echo but a voice to recognize impediments by means of triggering our consciousness. Hindi lang siya yung porke na ililimitan niya lang sa pamamagitan ng pagsasalita. No? But critical theories as a social justice warrior wants us to be a voice, no? To know the challenges that people are experiencing in our surroundings sa pagbubukas ng ating consciousness. No, ang galing kasi ng prof namin dito, tinuruan niya kami kung paano mag-isip when it comes to opening our consciousness. So, maging aware kami sa mga bagay na kahit sa pinakamaliit na detalye ay may meaning pala siya, no? And then moreover, critical theory exposes the connections of struggles for a just and fair society and wants to provide us self-understanding of exploitation, injustice, and wishes. So, ibig sabihin nun, na-discover ko na very powerful ang mga critical theories because it is, magkakaroon ka ng idea bakit nagkakaroon ng inequality, bakit nagkakaroon ng exploitation of resources, bakit mas lamang sila, bakit sila ay naiiwan, bakit hindi nila makamit yung justice sa sarili nila kahit sila yung tama, diba? It wants us to awaken our sleeping thoughts in the realization of what's wrong on what's contradicting social structures. Ano ba yung mga nakakasagabal sa society? Ano ba yung mga bagay na dapat isaalang-alang ng mga tao na hindi naman sila aware? That's why it can show the world why it actually struggles and is taking sides. Kung may tagapagtanggol ang mga nasa positive side, tapos syempre may mga tagapagtanggol din yung mga nasa negative sides. So, eto naman, glaringly, it treats the cancer of the society as problematic, showing no gray area to make room for compromise. No, it calls for practice. Kasi ang isang teorya ay hindi lang dapat manatili na isang theory. Ano yung isang teorya na nababasa mo sa libro o nababasa mo sa isang medium kung hindi ito nag-apply ng action or hindi nagkakaroon ng practice. So, syempre kailangan mo i-apply ano yung mga actions na may possibility that theory wants to imply to the people, di ba? And it not just as a reader, its only concern is to point the contradictions in the status quo and leave the rest to continuous process of dialogue. So, syempre dapat may dialogue. Merong communication to understand the things. Mayroon dapat communication, yun ang pinaka hindi dapat mawawala. ang dialogue. Often only concern is to point the contradiction in the status quo. Ano yung mga bagay na nakaka-apekto, no? Society. And then, these texts no, also move me no, to say that kaya pala, it never contradicts life, rather expose the factors on what contradicts the humanity's existence. Akala ko sinuguna, ay ito, sila lang yung magmamaliit sa kapwa-tao, sila lang yung magmamaliit sa kakayahan ng isang tao or particular na grupo. But instead, ang critical theories pala ang magbibigay ng mga factors kung ano yung nakaka-apekto mismo sa pag-exist ng isang human. What I mean, ano yung mga bagay na nakakahadlang sa kanya to achieve his or her successful life, his or her successful goals, diba? So yun yung una kong tanong na napaisip ako, nakala ko kasi yung critical theories, basta lang siya magko-contradict, siya yung nagko-contradict sa atin. But instead, critical theories help us to identify the factors kung ano yung mga nakakapag-contradict sa sarili natin, ayun yung mga nakakasagabal. Hindi sila yung umaapi sa atin, but instead sila yung tumutulong sa atin para malaman kung ano yung mga bagay na maaring makasagabal sa atin. So, ganun siya. The second type of my question I've done in autodidactics in critical theories, why does critical theory aim to transform the society? Ano yung mission ng critical theory? Diba? Isn't it ironic that the subject itself is criticizing? Diba? Parang, ang critical theory is criticize. No, but it is ironic to say that as we are enduring the wave of critical theory, its mission is to transform the society, to show that a good life for all is possible, and that domination and exploitation alienate humans from achieving. No? Who else desire to stay in a Prostean bed? Ikaw ba isisiksik mo sa sarili mo? Sa hindi naman talaga para sa'yo, o hindi ka naman talaga fit, di ba? So, mahirap yon. So, fitting individuals in a situation that only oppress us, hindi mo naman pwedeng ipagsisikan yung sa sarili mo. Dapat syempre ilugar mo yung sa sarili mo kung saan ka pa talaga, para saan ka. Diba? So, ganun yung gusto palabasin ng critical theories, no? Kung ikaw ba ay mahirap, doon ka na ba magsistay sa buhay mo bilang isang mahirap? Wala ka na bang karapatan na umunlad or wala ka na bang karapatan na magbago? So, ilan yun sa mission or transformation na gustong malaman ng critical theories? Because the transformation that critical theories want us to know is that contradiction is the primary mover of societal development. Meaning, conflict, exploitation, and dominance are the results of the present power structure. Kasi dahil sa problema, dahil sa exploitation ng mga resources, sa pagkaubos ng mga resources, sa pag-aagawan ng mahihirap ng mayayaman, at nagkakaroon ng dominance, nagkakaroon ng superior and inferior, it may cause societal cancer. And critical theory aims to transform that, to critique the power structure and change its corrupted status. Meaning, to seek the equality between the people who are being left behind in the society. So, you know what I mean, no? And then, in my conclusion, in this number 2 question, no? Critical theory wants to make the world conscious of its own possibilities, because one can therefore interpret, if you're a Marxist or you want to read or you're interested in Marxism approaches, kasi parang yung Marxism and critical theories are doon siya nakapasok yung theory na yun, no? Kasi kailangan syempre ng communication to understand ano yung struggles and the changes that the leaders want to change. No? They communicate fundamental deformations of society. So, sa pamamagitan ng dialogue, sa pamamagitan ng communication, nabibigyan nila ng solution yung isang problema. So, that's one technique in critical theories of the dialogue. But how transformation enters the scene, no? So, basically, the task for a critical theory, including the political economy, no, is all about communication, diba? Because the goal to raise consciousness and empower those who have been disenfranchised by reiterating self-determination is possible if people become conscious of and overthrow the forces that exploit them. So, kailangan ma-eliminate, ma-eradicate, ma-lessen yung mga bagay na nakaka-apekto sa pag-achieve ng goal by means of opening our consciousness, and now we are more on self-determined, no, in achieving those. Kailangan natin malagpasan yung mga challenges. So siguro yun yung isa sa mga bagay na gustong i-transform ng critical theories. Okay, so ganun siya. And then, eto naman, napakita ko ulit sa inyo, yung pangalawa naming autodidactic. So, yung first autodidactic namin. So, eto naman kasi, yun yung sa introduction siya ng critical theories. So, yung pangalawa naming autodidactics is all about postmodernism. Now, what is postmodernism? Ano ba yung mga hindrances? Ano ba yung mga possible topic, no? When we say postmodernism, postmodern, no? So, the question that I formulated here is that how does the evolution of scientific knowledge pressure the developed and developing countries in a postmodern age? Kasi during the time, no, syempre nag-evolve yung scientific method, nagkaroon ng iba't ibang evolution pagdating sa technology, especially the computer era. Nagkaroon ng computer, nagkaroon ng internet, nagkaroon ng social media, nagkaroon ng pagbabago sa technology. Nag-evolve yung mga machines, no, from theory, na-apply sila, nagkaroon ng mga the magic of science when inventions and discoveries happen, no. Kasi ang nangyayari niyan, kasi yung ibig sabihin, how about the labor, the human labor, di ba? Mapapalitan na lang ba sila ng machines? Are humans being exchanged by a computer? Parang mawawalan ng silbi yung saysay ng mga tao kung sila ipapalitan ng mga machine. Sige nga, halimbawa kung ikaw ay nagtatrabaho sa factory, imbes na mga tao yung gumagawa noon, but machines are there capable of doing those work. Diba? Parang, do you think machine will somehow in 2050, 22nd century, mapapalitan ba ng mga machine or ng technology ang mga tao sa pagtatrabaho? So yun kasi yung yun yung una kong napansin doon when I read the text, no, about postmodernism, no. Do you think that the evolution of scientific knowledge, the computer, the technology, no, ano yung mangyayari naman sa mga bansa? Di ba syempre ngayon, alam natin, America, China, the United States, Japan, South Korea, those are the countries na sobrang popular pagdating sa technology, lalo na sa scientific knowledge. So yung mga yan, magpapaligsahan yan, no? Magpapaligsahan sila na magkaroon ng inventions, na lumikha ng teknolohiya, na mas magkakaroon ng advantage sa mga tao gagamitin sa buong mundo. No? But ang tanong dyan, do you think this scientific knowledge really creates pressure to the developed and developing countries? So Philippines, as we know, Philippines is considered as a developing countries. Yung mga developed countries kasi, yun yung mga nasa Europe, yung mga nasa United States, yung nasa America, no, the American region, no? But Philippines is under the developing countries. So as I examine this text, no, to begin my autodidactic in the second one, no, a bunch of questions really attract my curiosity in reading this text of Lyotard's. So if you're familiar with John Francois Lyotard, no, is one of the proponent of this postmodernism in critical theory, no. The piece of his yung libro niya ay patungkol sa postmodernism, no. So titingnan natin ano yung epekto nung pagkakaroon ng evolution ng scientific knowledge. Yung science pa may effect, nakapag-create ba ito ng pressure, no. As I examine the text, no, I conclude that the nature of knowledge itself is shifting from being an end itself to a commodity meant to be repackaged and redistributed, no. In order to be valuable, learning must be able to be reformatted into these packets of information in computer language. Kasi nga, nag-e-evolve na tayo. So, yung mga information alam natin, therefore, mag-e-evolve din yan. So, iba't ibang channel of communication, gadgets, computer, laptop, cellphone, electronic devices, no? So today, we increasingly hear the words knowledge economy and information society to describe the era we are entering. As we always the case, no, knowledge is power. So malaki yung ginagampanan ng role ng knowledge when it comes to inventions and discoveries. Now, in an increasingly complex world, those with the ability to sort through the vast amounts of information and repackage it to give it meaning will be the winners. So doon na papasok yung competition. When we say competition, no, technologies continue to solve problems that were formerly the source of power struggles between nations. So alam naman natin yung nagpapaligsahan sila, di ba, sa mga rockets, mga space exploration sa buwan, sa Mars, di ba? Yan. Nagpapaligsahan yung US, Russia, China, and other countries so na mayaman sa technology, no? And so control of information is most likely to become the 21st century's definition of power. Until today, nangyayari yan. Nagkakaroon ng competition sa technology ng mga bansa, no? Pero paano natin ilalagay ngayon yung situation na yan, no? How come this knowledge creates struggle? Do you think, yes, we know science can help us, no, in a modern in the modern times, di ba? It can help us. But how come this knowledge creates struggle? Yung palang knowledge, akala natin nakakatulong talaga, no? Pero meron din siyang kalakip na struggle, no? It is widely accepted that knowledge has become the principal force of production over the last few decades. This has already had a noticeable effect on the composition of the workforce of the most highly developed countries and constitutes the major bottleneck for the developing countries. So, syempre, mas mahihirapan yung mga developing countries kasi nga sila ay still developing, sila ay umuunlad pa lamang, no? Medyo hindi pa sila sanay or medyo sabihin na natin wala pa silang idea kung sila ay gumawa ng iba't ibang inventions or the technology. Kasi mga developed countries, yung mayayaman na bansa, may kakayahan talaga sila ng lumikha ng mga ganoon, no? In the post-industrial and postmodern age, science will maintain and no doubt strengthen its preeminence in the arsenal of productive capacities of the nation states. No? So ayun yun ang nagkikreate ng competition or ng pressure because this situation is one of the reasons leading to the conclusion that the gap between developed and developing countries will grow ever wider in the future. Kasi nga, as science is evolving, the technology is evolving, no? Hindi natin masasabi kung ano pa yung mga mai-invent ng iba't ibang bansa, magkakaroon sila ng paligsahan, no? Hence, the technology and the machines will eventually lead to the domination of power, what and who to control. Sino kaya yung magdo-dominate someday? Sino kaya yung magiging superpower country, no? That's why I believe that knowledge in the form of an informational commodity indispensable to productive power is already and will continue to be a major stake in the worldwide competition for power. So, you think, no, scientific knowledge, may competition din pala, hindi lang po siya sa economy or sa politics. But still, knowledge is very powerful because it can create competition to the countries around the world, no? Ang pinakagusto ko dito sa text na ito, no, I admire Lyotard's postmodern condition that wants us, the readers, to elaborate to understand the nature of knowledge in modern times. One must be able to understand how the society operates. In this case, the postmodern society, it is either a whole or split into two. Is it an optimistic model that views society as a unified whole, or a model-based intention where the needs of the people and functions of the system are incompatible? Either way, society is a machine, and knowledge is a cog in the system that keeps it running. So, syempre, without knowledge, we do not have any uh, transformation or any evolution in science. Kasi knowledge, syempre, yun yung foundation. If you have the knowledge on how to use or on how to make such inventions or discovery, no? So, kaya nga nakalagay doon, either way, society is a machine. So, ang nagpapatakbo sa isang society as it is compared in machine is the knowledge. So, without the knowledge, the society or the machine cannot be perform its task. So, ganun ka-powerful yung knowledge. Ang ka-create siya ng competition. Kahit isa lang siyang maliit na bagay na nagka-create siya ng competition when it comes to domination of power in the society of the countries. So, ganun yung nagpapaisip sa akin kung ano ba talaga yung kapangyarihan ng knowledge. No? May kakayahan pala ito na maging hindrance or makasagabal sa mga bansa. And then, the second question that I formulated is, why language game in postmodernism aid as a tool in communication? No, kasi akala natin literal yung ibig sabihin, language games. Ito yung laro talaga. Literal na laro na may matatalo, may mananalo. Kasi itong language game, I am familiar with this, no? Nung kami ay college, no, we use this theoretical framework about language, no, particularly pragmatic. Akala natin yung mga salita na naririnig natin, ayun na yun. No, but meron pa pala siyang hidden meaning, the context itself. Meron pa pala siyang ibig sabihin. So, syempre, ibig sabihin kung paano ginagamit yung salita. Hindi lang basta narinig mo yung salita na yun na yung meaning niya, but instead, meron pa siyang hidden meaning according to the use, no? So, according dito, no, what is a game? Diba? It is an easy question, no? You know what is a game? Such as sports or mobile games. No? A game is a competition with winners and losers. But in the field of philosophy, there's a philosophers of language, the question of meaning. How do words can be a key to the mental concepts that you want to communicate? The naive understanding of what words mean is just that they're just whatever the dictionary says, but we know that's not totally true. Akala natin kung ano yung nabasa lang natin sa dictionary or any meaning of the words is that literal meaning. Pero meron siyang hidden or the context itself of the pragmatics. Kaya siya tinatawag na language game. Maintindihan mo lang yung isang salita kung ikaw ay into it or you're able to use those words or those language in your daily lives, no? According to Lyotard in his postmodernism, language is itself taken to be an activity and language games are the minimum relation for society to exist. So parang ganun ang kapangyarihan ng language because language is a living phenomenon. And like most living things, they're going to be changes and variation. So maaring yung meaning ng words mo ngayon ay maaari siyang mabago. So, bigyan natin ng example yan. Halimbawa, the person number 1 says, I am almost done playing the ranked game of the Mobile Legends. The person number 2 says, alright, 5 more minutes. So, kung mababasa natin yung pag-uusap nila, diba, it is very common. There's no, walang weird dun sa pinag-uusapan nila. So, parang naghihintayan sila na matapos yung kanilang paglalaro. But more on, the hidden meaning between the conversation, if we're going to apply pragmatics and the language games, that the first person, ito yung first person, is actually saying to wait a little longer. Ibig sabihin, kailangan maghintay yung kasama niya. No? While the other person, the second person, wants to say that, maaring sabihin natin na kaya niya parang minamadali yung kasama niya na matapos, inaantok na siya or gusto niya magpahinga. Diba? So, yun yung tinitignan ng language game. The hidden meaning between the words actually saying. No? Hindi kasi porque sinabi mo yun na yung meaning niya, pero meron pa pala yung hidden context. Diba? So, eto yan. Diyan ngayon papasok yung pragmatics. So, pragmatic is how we actually use the natural language. No? So, philosophical problems come from our use of language rather than from the world itself. Meaning is defined by its use in natural language. It can be compared to an inside joke wherein only people who are in on it can understand it. So kung ikaw ay nandoon sa trends ng mga pinag-uusapan mo yun, so maiintindihan mo siya if you are really connected with those words saying. No, meron din kasi siyang maaari iba yung interpretation. Kung titignan natin yan sa symbolic interactionism, no, isang sociological perspective, the symbolic interactionism, maaari dyan pumasok yung meaning. Hindi porket yung nakita mong object, di ba, ang puno, akala natin, ang puno ay para shades, di ba, para sa lilim. Malilim kasi kapag mainit. But trees can also be have a meaning of ginagawa siyang papel, ginagawa siyang furniture, di ba? So, ilan yung sa mga hidden meanings of an object or a certain words, no? So, a word does not have just one meaning, but it has multiple. All the use of word is connected, diba? Ganun siya. At ang pinakahuli kong na-realize dito in my Autodidactics in language games that one of my difficulties encountered in this Autodidactics is our familiarity with the language games. Akala natin literal lang na sinasabi yung mga salita, pero meron pala siyang hidden meaning, no? Thus, language is a public tool for the understanding of private life. The richness of the language we are exposed to is therefore really important to our self-knowledge. So, kailangan nating mag-exercise or mag-practice pa ng iba't ibang mga words to understand the pragmatic meaning of that word. Akala nila yung emotion na pinapakita nila or the words are literally the meaning. Pero meron pala siyang hidden context. So, ganun yung nangyari sa aming autodidactic. I just want to share to you kung ano na yung progress sa aking pag-aaral. So, thank you so much for listening to this sharing of my research